Good morning, students. Today we will see the Mauryan administration. In that, we have to see the pan Indian character. The Mauryan Empire, beginning with Chandragupta Maurya, was vast and with an all India character. The whole India was under control of Chandragupta Maurya. Then Seleucus, to whom Chandragupta defeated in a war, he also handed him four provinces of Kabul, Kandahar, Herat, and Balochistan that remained with Mauryan Empire right up to the end of Ashoka's rule. During Bindusara's rule, Ashoka reached Takshila and quelled the revolt there. After Bindusara had established his rule over South India, no other king ever ruled over the whole of India. The fact that is, Chandragupta Maurya spent his last years at Shravanbelgola in Karnataka. After, as per the four ashramas, he left his empire and went to Shravanbelgola for the last ashramas following. He followed the last ashrama, which is that four ashramas. First one is the Brahmacharya ashram, the Grihastha ashram, the Vanaprastha ashram, and the Sannyas ashram. For that, he left his empire and went to Shravanbelgola, and there he spent his life. The chief advantages of pan-Indian character, in short, in detail, pan is called as per the Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Nepal of his empire were the following. His pan-Indian character as followed. It marked the end of small states. Small states were ended. It helped in establishing trade links with foreign countries. It made India strong and helped the Mauryan kings face foreign aggressions successfully. That just because of the pan-Indian character, the Mauryan kings could easily face the aggressions of foreigners successfully and easily. After Ashoka's victory over Kalinga, the era of conquest and wars was over. After winning of Kalinga war, Ashoka left the battle and all the things. It helped the Mauryan kings to pay more attention to social and economic life of the people. Hence, there was an all-round economic prosperity. It was Chandragupta Maurya under the guidance of Chanakya. Chandragupta Maurya was followed the writer of Arthashastra, Chanakya, who laid the foundations of an elaborate system of administration. Every time Chanakya was supporting to Chandragupta, guiding to Chandragupta. And for that purpose, Chanakya wrote a book that is called as Arthashastra, in which is described the principles of politics and the art of administration. Chandragupta's son Bindusar retained the same system and Ashoka made some minor changes in necessity. Some of the changes were done by the son of Chandragupta, Bindusara. In Bindusar followed the same policy of his father, but Ashoka did some changes in that policy after the Kalinga war. Mauryan administration had two main divisions. First one is civil administration, another one is military administration. In civil administration, two main divisions were there. First one is central administration or central government, another one is provincial government. Likewise, today we are also following the provincial government and central government. Central government is done or worked by the prime minister, and provincial government is run by the chief minister. At the time of Ashoka, the Mauryan government was centralized and was managed by the several officers of different ranks. Likewise, we can see that IS officers are working. The king was supreme authority and the throne was hereditary. Now here the king is called as per the president. He was also a supreme judge. Megasthenes, the Greek ambassador at the court of Chandragupta, the writer of Indica, Megasthenes was also staying in the court of Chandragupta Maurya, and he just mentioned all these things in his book. Even Chanakya also wrote in Arthashastra. That is telling Arthashastra and Indica is explaining about the Mauryan administration to us. Ashoka brought about some changes in the administrative system of Chandragupta Maurya. He appointed Mahamatras. Mahamatras are called as per the governors. Nowadays also we can see that governors are working here in the provincial government or the state government to look after the welfare of his subjects. That is the responsibility. That was the responsibility of governors to follow, to take follow of the subjects, means citizens. At the central level, the king was assisted by the council of ministers, that is called as Mantri Parishad, that is headed by the prime minister at that time also. Each minister was responsible for his department. Likewise, we have studied in we are going to study in next year that how prime minister and council of ministers are working. At the time of Ashoka also, that type of ministry or council of ministries was there, and they were working together. They were responsible for the departments at that time also. The council of ministers included the chief pujari of the state, called the chief pujari of the state is called as per the Purohit, and the Senapati who advised the king on matters related to war and peace. Senapati was responsible or advising to king related to the matter of war and peace. The head treasurer called Sannidhata and Samaharta. Samaharta was the taxation expert. Likewise, we can see that income tax department is also working nowadays in our country, not in our country but all over the world. The other important officers were accountant general, one in charge of agriculture, superintendent of mines, superintendent of ports, controller of commerce, as well as the superintendent of weights and measures, that we have to see. Students, remaining content or remaining video I will send you tomorrow.